Good morning everybody. Okay, it's Wednesday and we're on our third maths lesson looking at analog clocks, but this time we're going to go to the nearest minutes. Before we were going to the nearest 5 minutes, whereas today we're going to look at that next step. So if the minute hand isn't always on a number, it's actually on a little one, what happens then? So that's what we're going to look at today. So again, looking at our clock, we know that the clock has got 12 hours on a clock. Obviously we know there's 24 hours in a day, so the hour hand would have to move twice around the clock for a full day. We know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, so their minute hand will move a full way around the clock, and that will be one whole hour. We know that between each number there are 5 minutes, and we know that one little mark is worth 1. So we're going to use that information today to go on to what we're going to look at next. So looking at this slide, we can see I have labelled where there is 1 minute. Okay, so we are going to be using these today to build up our knowledge on telling the time. Okay, so on this slide, obviously we can just see it's a quick recap of how we looked at the minutes, how we looked at the o'clock, half past, quarter to. And again, we looked at here looking at just a quick recap to see how we say 5 past right the way down to half past, and then half past all the way up to 5:20 o'clock. So just again, just a quick recap there. Obviously you'll have produced one of these clocks at home, so you can keep referring back to that. Okay, so looking at the next part, when you're telling the time, obviously we can look at this clock here, and again straight away we look at the minute hand, the longer hand. Now when we look at this, we can see that actually the minute hand isn't on a number, it's actually on a little one. So we are going to use a very similar method, but we need to obviously go right the way up to where the minute hand is. So we need to first of all look at the minute hand, the longer hand. Is it past or is it to? Well, we can clearly see it's before the 6, so it's on the past side. We then are going to start from the 12 again, and we're going to count just like we did previously. Now we can count up in 5s to start with, because obviously we know that there's 5 minutes between each number, so it will get us there a lot quicker rather than having to count every single individual one. So we can count up to the nearest 5. Okay, so we can count to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. However, we can't then add another 5 because our minute hand is before them. So then what we will do, we will start from 25 and we will add the extra ones. So we'll go 25, 26, 27. So we can see that the minute hand is at 27 minutes past. Once we know that, we can then look at the hour hand. We can start by looking, well, we know it's going to be past, so we need to see which hour it has passed. We can see it's clearly past the 7, it hasn't got to the 8 yet, so we know the time is 27 minutes past 7. Okay, I'd like you to have a go at doing this now on the next couple of questions. These will be on Seesaw for you to access as well, so I'd like you to have a go at doing these, and then we'll go through the answer. Okay, so you should have had a chance to have a go at doing these questions now. If you haven't, please pause the video, have a go, and then you can carry on the video. Now, if I look at the first question, I'm going to look at the minute hand to start with, and I can say whether it is past or to. I know that it is on the past side because obviously it's gone past the 12, so I'm going to put a P there to show that it is past. Then I'm going to start again at my 12, so I'm going to put a little starting point at my 12. Now, because the minute hand hasn't gone past the 1 yet, that means that it hasn't gone past 5 minutes. So we don't need to count up in 5, so we can just count up in 1s. So let's see where it goes to. If you need to continue the line or put a ruler down or a pencil down to see where it ends up, that's absolutely fine. So let's count it. So we've got 1 minute past, 2 minutes past, 3 minutes past. So I can see that my answer will be 3 minutes past. Now I need to look at the hour hand. I need to know if it's past. What hour has it passed? Well, it has passed the 9. So I can say that my answer is 3 minutes past 9. There's just another example. Okay. Now let's have a look at the second one. So you should have said first answer 3 minutes past 9. Let's have a look at the next one. Is the minute hand on the has it passed or is it on the to side? Well, we can see that it's still on the past side. So again, we're still going to start off at the 12, and we're going to count how many minutes. However, we're not going to count in 1s because it'll take us a lot longer to get there. We can count up in 5s until we get to the nearest number. Okay, so we can go 5 minutes past, 10 minutes past, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Now we won't carry on until to the half past, because obviously our minute hand hasn't passed there. So from here we'll start with 25 and we'll add the ones. 26, 27, 28. So I can see that this is 28 minutes past. So we can now look at my hour hand, and what hour has my hour hand passed? Well, it's past the 4. So my answer would be 28 minutes past 4. There's just another way of doing it. Okay, so that was brilliant. So well done if you've got that. Okay, so when we start to look at the 2, this is where obviously it does still get a little bit trickier, because we need to know how many minutes to the hour it is. So again, just as we did before, look to see where your minute hand is. Is it on the past or the to side? Then once you have done that, we can see this is on the to side. So again, we're going to start off at the 12 like we've just done, and we're going to count backwards, because remember, we want to know how many minutes to the hour. Now obviously we can see that the minute hand is not on a whole number, so we know that we're going to have to be counting in ones at some point. However, because it's further back, we can still count in 5s to the number just before the minute hand, and that'll get us there quicker. So we can count 5, 10, 15, 20, and then we'll need to count in ones 21, 22, 23, which will show you that it is 23 minutes to, because that's how many minutes it takes to get from where the minute hand is now till it is back up at the 12. So we would say that it was 23 minutes to. Now because we know that it is 2, we can see the hour hand to see where it's trying to get to, and we can see that the hour hand is trying to get to the 5. So we can say that the time is 23 minutes to 5. Okay, so now I'd like you to have a go at doing the next questions, and then we'll go through the answers. So here are the questions I'd like you to have a go at. If you haven't had a go at them yet, pause the video, have a go at them, and then I'll go through the answers. Okay, so for the answers, let's have a look at the first one. We need to first of all look at the minute hand. Remember, that's the longer hand. Is it on the past side or the to side? Well, it's on the to side, because it's gone past the 6 and it's on its way up to the 12. Now, we then need to start again from the 12, okay, because we want to know how many minutes it takes to get from here. Obviously, as we can see, that the minute hand is quite far down, so we can count up in 5s until the number before the minute hand. So we can count 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22. So I can see that my minute hand has got 22 minutes to get up to the hour hand, to get up to the o'clock up at the top. I can then have a look at my hour hand, and I can see what hour is my hour hand trying to get to. Well, it's gone past the 12, so it won't be 22 minutes to 12. It'll be 22 minutes to 1, because it's trying to get to the 1. So my answer will be 22 minutes to 1. And then I can just show you this example. So it's just on there for you, 22 minutes to 1. Okay, right, if we have a look at the next one then. So again, we look at the minute hand. The minute hand is on the to side, so you can even write past and to on to help you like I'm doing. I can see that I need to start at the 12 and I need to count backwards. I can start in 5s, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, I think it is. Yes, it is, it's 18. So you can start in 5s and then counting your 1s until you find that there are 18 minutes till it gets to the o'clock. Now, because it is 2 again, we want to see what the hour hand is trying to get to, and we can see that it's trying to get to the 2. So my time would be 18 minutes to 2. If you've got the right, give it a tick. Fantastic. Okay, another way that we could work this out is that we obviously know that there are 16 minutes in an hour. So if I know that my minute hand has gone 40 minutes past, if this is an easy way you might be able to remember it, because obviously at the bottom it's half past, then, and that's 30 minutes, then they're 35, 40. If I know that 40 minutes has passed and I know that there's 60 minutes in an hour, I could do 60, take away 40 to find that there are 20 minutes left till it gets to 0 o'clock. So I could say that it would be 22, 5. So that's just an alternate method that you might be able to also spot as well. So your next steps are on Seesaw. I've attached some worksheets for you to have a go at. So please have a go at completing these, and then I've also gone through the answers on this video here, so you can have a look back at the answers to make sure that you've got them all correct. And then if you'd like to post them on Seesaw, and then I can give you some feedback on them, or give you any more support if you need that. So here are the answers to the questions that you've just had a go at completing. So the first one, complete the sentence. When the minute hand is pointed to the 4, it is 20 minutes. Remember, it's not 4 minutes because there's 5 minutes between each, so it's 20 minutes. When the minute hand is pointing to the 5, it is 25 minutes past the hour, not 5, because remember again there are 5 minutes between each number. Complete the times on each clock. So again, some of them you have got the hour hand, some of you have to write both minutes and the hour, and for the last one you had to write 28 minutes past 6, so you had to write it in full there. And you could have added it, you could have done your jumping method to help you. For number 3, as you can see, all of these add up to 60. So it is saying that if there are 51 minutes that have gone past, there will be 9 minutes to the next hour, or 29 minutes to the next hour for the second one. So that's just showing you a quicker way to do it. Again, on number 4, this is also showing you between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. We know there are 60 minutes. If 38 minutes have gone, you could do 60, take away 38 to get your answer 22, because we know that there are 60 minutes in an hour. If 38 have already been used, there will be 22 minutes left till it gets to the next hour. For question 5, you had to complete the time to make the statements correct. 51 minutes past 1, you had to say how many minutes to the next hour. So again, you could have done 60, take away 51, which you would have got 9, so it would be 9 minutes to 2. Alternatively, you could have used a clock to do this to see that, right, well, 51 minutes has gone, there will be 9 minutes left to get to the next clock. Question 6, complete the time shown on each. So again, you had to work it out and count up not just how many minutes. You have to actually just be really careful on this one, because for 6A you had to do both how many minutes past the hour, which was 51 minutes past 2, but obviously we wouldn't say that, we would say 9 minutes to 3, so you have to give both ways of saying it. For number 7, the time is 55 minutes past 7, so it is 45 minutes to 8. What mistake has Rosie made, and what is the correct time? So again, if you're thinking, right, well, there's 55 minutes, 60 minutes in an hour. If I've already had 55 minutes, there's only going to be 5 minutes left. So it would be 5 to 8, not 45 minutes to 8. You might have also noticed that what they thought that there was 100 minutes in an hour, because if you add 55 and 45, that makes 100. However, we know that there are 60 minutes in an hour. For number 8, draw the hands on the clock. So you had to do this really carefully, again making sure, using a ruler, that one of your hands is bigger than the other hand, obviously the minute hand being the larger one. Then for number 9, Tommy, Whitney and Alex are telling the time. Tommy says it is 4 minutes to 5. Alex says it is 14 minutes to 5. And Whitney says it is 24 minutes to 5. Now what I would suggest doing to work this one out is actually you go and work out what the time is on the clock, and then you'll be able to see that Alex is the one that is correct. You could even say what the other mistakes were that the other children had made. So it could be the fact that they counted it wrong, they counted backwards, or they counted forwards. You could see what mistakes that they have made. Okay, well, I hope you found that really interesting. I hope you've been able to work that out, and it's really helped your confidence with your telling the time skills. And I look forward to doing the next lesson tomorrow, where we'll be looking at some, over the next couple of days, some digital clocks. Well done, and keep up the excellent work.